There are three words: wisdom, intelligence, and truth.
Yeah, wisdom, intelligence, and truth. Yeah.
Now, we discussed intelligence once before, and at that time I think we were very nearly treating it as containing wisdom and truth. You see, we were using one word to cover the whole.
Cover the whole. Now we have separated it.
Yes.
Truth, wisdom, and intelligence.
Yes. Now, you see, the truth, you say, is first, and from truth may flow wisdom, and from wisdom, intelligence. See, why we use the two words wise and intelligent. You see, either one of the words is superfluous, or there's a further shade of meaning that we have to explore, right? Now, we say there's a difference between truth and wisdom first. And see, truth is that which is, we said.
Yes.
Now, wisdom is somewhat more limited. It's the way we've seen it, it's the perception, primarily the perception of the limitations of thought, right?
Yes.
Right, so that thought does not do anything foolish. I mean, if thought does not know its limits, then
it does
all sorts of foolish things. Now, as soon as thought can know its limits, then it does not do anything foolish, you see. So, perception of that which is, it seems to me, goes far beyond the perception of the limits of thought.
Why have we then divided truth, wisdom, and intelligence?
Well, we don't know. It may be partly the tradition, of our culture, but there may be some reason behind it. I think we have to look at it. Now, it seems to me that wisdom emphasizes this perception of the limits of thought, you see, the true perception of the limits of thought.
Yes.
And now what is intelligence, you see, then?
I mean, the meaning of the word on the dictionary, you need to read between.
Well, many meanings. It also means leisure means also to pay attention.
Pay attention, leisure.
Leisure, it could mean the same as read or pay attention, and also means to gather and...
Yes, collect.
To collect, and also it means to choose, you see, so...
yes, I see that. Where is choice intelligence? No.
Well, no, you see, the point is that we have to say, what is the capacity to choose? I mean, unless somebody would say, if he chooses, it's either arbitrary or he must choose intelligently.
But choice.
Choice itself is, you see, in practical affairs, you may choose one thing over another with the help of intelligence, right?
Yeah.
But now, what kind of choice do you have in mind, you see?
Is there in perception choice?
Oh, that's the question, yes.
Yeah.
Or in awareness, right?
In awareness. Yeah. In awareness,
or in attention.
Perception, in attention. Is there any choice?
Yes. No, you see, that's the same as saying there's no discrimination, you see. That's it. You could not choose unless there were discrimination to choose from, right?
Yes, choose from.
But if there's no discrimination, there's no place for choice to operate.
That's right. That's right. There's no choice.
Yes. So
yes. Right. Uh-huh.
So the question is, why is it that the word leisure had this range of meanings? Either.
I know.
You see, there seems to be some deep confusion somewhere, where people confuse between attention and choice, or say. In other words, the same word can mean attention, pay attention, and it can also mean choose. I don't know how that came about.
If there is attention, would there be choice?
No, there wouldn't be, you see, but people may think that there would be, you see. In other words, there may be in our tradition a widespread belief that attention would contain choice.
Attention, awareness, perception. In that, surely there is no choice at all. They will just perceive.
Yes.
And act accordingly.
Yes, but if somebody thought that we actually perceived discriminations, then he might think that you could choose, that awareness would contain choice. You see, I'm trying to say what mistaken presupposition would allow people to come to this belief that there is choice in awareness, you see, because I think...
Is it the outcome of the feeling or the idea that because there is choice, there is freedom?
That's part of it, perhaps, but the idea of, say, choosing between good and evil, let's say, that's one of the favorite choices. Right?
Yes, good and evil. Take that.
And people felt you're free to choose between good and evil, but you wouldn't be able to do that unless you could discriminate good and evil, right? Therefore, it's probably assumed that you can discriminate good and evil.
No, but a man who perceives,
Yeah.
to him there is no choice.
No, there's no choice, but he also doesn't discriminate in that perception.
No. And therefore he acts according to that perception.
Yes, well, that perception contains the whole, as I say, of good and evil, and the implication of the necessary action, all undivided.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And it is not necessary to say this side is evil, this side is good, I go to this side, you see.
Good guys and bad guys, quite.
So that there's some confusion in our tradition about the nature of perception, you see.
For me, if I may be, perception implies a choiceless action.
Yes.
Not discriminating action or choosing action, just perception.
Yes, and as the description may make it look like a choice.
Description.
Yes. A person may see the whole of good and evil and take the right action, but when described, it's described that he took the good action and avoided the evil action. You see, but that's only a description.
Description. But the description is not the describer and so on, all the rest of it.
Yeah, so the point is that in the description we inevitably use the dualistic language, and it looks that way, and in order to communicate something that is not dualistic. You see, there's...
So, let's begin. To see is to act, and in that action there is no choice.
Yes.
And to see that perception is truth.
The perception that there is no choice.
Yeah, there is no choice. That is the truth.
Yes.
Now, in translating that into words,
yes,
does it imply a dualistic?
No, and it doesn't. It merely that the words are dualistic in form, but the actuality is not dualistic. You see, the mere statement that perception, that is truth, is a kind of, there is dualism in the way you use the words, because you see, it would imply that is not wrong, that is not false, you see, and so on. See, I'm trying to say that there is a certain background in language,
of course,
which has dualism built into it.
Yes,
and nevertheless, it is possible to communicate. Knowing that is the case, it is possible to communicate free of dualism. That's what I want to suggest.
Quite. Can I communicate? Can one communicate love without the implication of hate, jealousy, anger?
Yes, as long as we realize that the words, are only the description. You see that's that it's part of the language that love is not hate and so on. You see, but one can see that perhaps one could say that one has nothing to do with the other.
Is wisdom the denial? Is the negation of the opposite?
No.
Just make that.
What is the opposite of wisdom? It's folly, you see.
Folly.
No, it can't be. You see, in one sense, it's not the opposite of folly. You see.
Oh no.
No, you see, but wisdom obviously is the denial of folly. But denial does not mean opposition.
Opposition, quite.
That's a matter of being careful, because to deny means that the other is not there at all.
Quite.
Not that it opposes it.
Is intelligence different from perception?
Well, it can't be really different from perception.
No. So why has man divided perception, truth, wisdom, intelligence, and good and evil and all the rest of it? Why has this division, how has this division come about?
Well, are we really clear that there's no use to this word, to this division at all? You see, wouldn't intelligence might differentiate of meaning?
Would a man who perceives truth have this division in himself?
There would be no point to it.
No point to it. So who has divided this?
Well, it's clear that thought has divided it. You see, in thought it appears as divided. We have different words and some sense that they mean something different.
Or thought has divided it, or we have been educated to divide this.
Yes, well, through thought, you see.
Yes.
I mean, our thought has been conditioned to divide it. I mean,
Fragmented.
our way to fragment it, you see.
Yes.
So to use different words and to give them different meanings and so on. And even to give intelligence the meaning of some sort of skill in thought, you see, that...
Skill in thought, yes, quite.
And people talk about artificial intelligence. And see, they talk about computers that would be artificial intelligence.
Yes.
But I was talking with a man who worked in computers, and he finally saw that it would be artificial thought, not artificial intelligence.
Right. Then what are we trying to do? We are trying to find out what is the relationship between wisdom and truth, between intelligence and wisdom and all.
Yes. Now, see if we could explore, is there any part of the meaning of intelligence that we have, not looked at yet? You see, or do we say it's all contained in truth?
That I was just beginning to question that.
Why?
Whether in the word truth, whether all those are not included. So as we said the other day, we said there is reality and truth.
Mm-hmm.
Reality is all that which thought has operated, all that which thought has created, all that which chooses, which discriminates and functions within that field. We said that is all reality.
Yes, well, I would try to put it, it's not really what thought has done, but there's a certain actuality which thought has thought about, or which thought can describe. You see, even the tree may be described as part of reality where thought discriminates.
Yes.
And the tree exists independently of thought, but still thought
is different.
Thought knows the tree in that form.
Yes. Thought knows the tree in that form, but the tree is separate or is not thought.
The tree is not thought, it's an actuality. But still, I say reality is therefore not only what man has produced and what he knows, but all the unknown reality which he could know.
Yes.
Like what's going on Mars or...
Yes, sure.
You see, which still would be known through thought. Whatever could be known through thought is reality, you see.
Yes, everything that can be known through thought is reality. And we went through all this.
Yes, that's just to cover everything.
Yes, that's right.
And therefore, the truth would have to be